Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I'm Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist and small business advisor. And part of my job as that advisor is to help you have some aha moments, some self-discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release them and soar. Because that's where all the breakthroughs happen. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it in your personal finances or in your overall business. And again, it's tax time, y'all. What you got planned for your tax refund? So for the past few weeks, I've spoken on tax refunds, and I discussed 9 mistakes people make when they get their tax refund, and started sharing things you should consider doing with your refund. So go back and watch those tax refund episodes. Today, I will cover 2 more things that you should consider doing with your tax refund. Now, when you think about your tax refund, what's your plan? How are you going to use it to benefit you? Are you going to buy more things? Are you going to use it to help your financial situation? Are you going to use it to have some experiences? Are you going to use it to do some improvements around the house? What is your plan? Go back again and watch those trainings to get some ideas of mistakes people make, and check to see if you've made those mistakes in the past. Like, dog, I don't know what happened to my tax refund. I just blew my tax refund, or I had this nice tax refund. I don't know what I did with it. Go back and watch those episodes, and then also start to rewatch, where I start talking about things that you should consider with your tax refund. Don't spend your refund on more things that you don't need. Not another TV, not more gym shoes, not more tracksuits, not more clothes, not more purses. Nothing that you don't need. Be intentional with it. I am like pleading and begging with you. Be intentional with your tax refund. Make sure you use it to help you get closer to a goal, or goals with an S. So let's look at some more things you should consider doing with your refund. And I call this WIPs, wills, insurance, and powers of attorney. You don't know how many times I get calls with people who need these things, but it's always after the fact. So someone is in the hospital, and the people can't make decisions for whatever reason for that person that's under care, and they need a power of attorney in order to be able to do that. Or someone is in the hospital and they need access to the funds in that person's bank account, but they're not on it. They don't have access to those funds, and they don't have a power of attorney to be able to get access to those funds. And the list goes on, because they're waiting until the emergency happens. And in some instances, you can't get that power of attorney. That person that's in the hospital can't sign for it. They either are totally unable because of whatever the illness is, or they physically could, but there's something could be going on that they mentally can't sign for it, because that sometimes happens with illness, that they're not in capacity to sign for those things. Wills. Let's talk about, so you want to make sure, that you have that power of attorney. And if you have parents that you would have to take care of, if you have siblings, and if you have children, there needs to be powers of attorneys in place. You can get a general one, power of attorney. You can get a financial specific power of attorney, or you can get a health, medical power of attorney specific. So you have options, but the thing is to get them before you need them, before the emergency happens. And your children, They need powers of attorney for you. So you want to make sure, or your sibling, and then vice versa. You don't want to wait until the emergency happens and you need a power of attorney and you don't have one signed. Wills. And and most people think, well, I don't need a will because I don't have, I don't have any money in the bank. I don't have any assets. The average person has 300,000 items in their home. 300,000 items. That's your estate. And legally, people are not supposed to be able to come in to take money, to take things out of your home if you die without everything being cataloged and without the reading of that will. We know it happens all of the time. It doesn't always save you from going to probate court, but it's definitely something everyone needs. Everyone needs that will. And again, needing it before you need it, like having it in place before you need it is crucial, right? So many times people are fighting over things after you've passed on to glory. And that just doesn't even make sense. Where if you had that will and people know, hey, we can't do anything because there is a will, there has to be a reading of this will first. So everyone has an estate. Everyone has an estate. But what are you going to do with it? And I always say it's also kind of serves as that last love letter to your loved ones, right? Because you're leaving them certain things and you can put in that will and you can write letters to individuals and stick with it. That's a part of that will package. But you want to make sure that you have that will in place. Again, it is that last love letter. It's that last act of love that you're going to do for those that you love, right? The other piece of wills, insurance, and powers of attorney is insurance. And I'm specifically talking about life insurance in this manner. I think it's irresponsible for you to die and not have life insurance in place to cover your services. One. And then two, to be able to provide some financial relief for the people that you leave behind. So oftentimes we think of, or a lot of people will think of life insurance just about that death benefit. Well, that's a big part of it because it's you should not leave the people that are grieving your death with the task of trying to figure out how to pay for your service, whatever that service looks like, and all that goes along with that. That should be taken care of. And you can do that simply with some life insurance. You don't have to have some great big massive policy. It's probably far less expensive than you think, right? But you need to have something in place. The second piece of that of insurance is being able to use it, or the people that you leave being able to use it for income. So now that's a larger policy, right? And let's say you have a spouse and you all have young children. And when I say young children, I mean under the age of 21, right? You have children under the age of 21 and you worked and your income helped to run that house. Well, now you die, their income is no longer there. So what does that do to the financial stability of those that you left behind? So now you're talking about other type of policies, right? And so being able to use some of, because this isn't going to take all of, but being able to use a small portion of your tax refund to make sure these things are in place, and then they're done, right? And let me go back to that insurance for a second. If you only have insurance through your job, that doesn't count and it's not enough. But also with that insurance, whether it's through your job or you have a policy outside of your job, which everyone should, people that love you need to know where that is. People that love you need to know where that POA is. People that love you need to know where that will is, so that when something happens to you, they're not tearing up the house trying to find it. Okay. So wills, insurance, powers of attorney, use a small portion of your refund to take care of that. So there's a couple things already in there's a couple things already in the description below. So you want to look at, there's a life insurance consultation link. I'm a licensed life insurance advisor. So there's a life insurance consultation link. Click the link, schedule an appointment. Let's talk about your life insurance. There's also a life insurance calculator in the description below. Click on that. Answer a few questions, and it's going to tell you how much you should consider having for life insurance. You want to look back at that. Are you anywhere even close to that? Right? And then there's going to be a Legal Shield link also in the description. Legal Shield membership is less than $30 a month. First of all, I believe everybody should have Legal Shield. Just everybody. There's over 100 reasons to have Legal Shield. But for the purpose of this training, with that Legal Shield membership, you can get your will and powers of attorney done for free. So you don't have to go. So with just that membership, you can get your wills and power of attorney done for free. Take the money. Again, this is a small amount of money that you can take that will have massive impact when it's needed. And a lot of times we don't think about the impact later or what will be needed later. We're only thinking about right now. But you have to plan for right now, tomorrow, and the future, and when you're gone, because what is that going to do to the people that you love, right? The second thing I'm going to talk about today is investing. When I talk about investing, I'm talking about investing to build wealth, right? Not to necessarily just invest to invest. Now, you want to invest so that you can have money for later on in life, right? So what is that plan? Again, it goes back to, how do you want to live the rest of your life? And I ask that question of people over and over again, and typically they have no idea. And the responses I get are, you know what, I never thought about it. Or they have this very broad idea of how they want to live their life, but they're not doing the things to get them there, and they haven't broken it down with specificity so that they could be intentional with the steps, money, finance, investing, and all of that, in order to make them be able to realize the very thing that they say, or the very way that they say they want to live the rest of their life. So investing. Now, stock market is crazy. I don't do anything with stocks. I'm not the person that you're going to ask that about. I'm not advising my clients to start investing in the stock market if they have not already been in the stock market, right? Because of what's coming, because of what's happening in the economy, the world economy right now. And when you see all of these millionaire, billionaire corporation owners, or having really high positions in companies, and you see them dumping the stocks that they have in those companies that they work for, or their very own corporations, something is coming, right? And you don't want to be caught up in that, putting money there when we know something is coming. When you just look at everything going on in the end of the fiat dollar, and the US not being the the global currency anymore, right? Something is coming. Something is going to impact the stock market, the Fed. Those things are coming. So again, I'm not suggesting to my clients, if they've never been in it, the stock market, that they jump into the stock market now. Now, there are some people out there that are with Bitcoin. Um, you probably, you can even buy Bitcoin now through your Cash App, where you're not buying a total, I don't know, I'm going to say share, but you can buy into Bitcoin. XRP would be a good one to look into if you wanted to do some investing that way. Do your research, but look into XRP. XRP is going to play a major role in what's happening in this new economy that we're coming into. So you may want to look at that. Gold and silver. Gold is at all-time high right now. It's as high as it's been in a while. It is more than, you know what? Let's look it up real quick. It is more than it has been in a while. So you may not be able to purchase gold, or you may. Gold right now is at 2161.80. But watch this. Silver is at $24.24 for an ounce of silver. 20, whatever I said for gold, $2,100 for an ounce of gold, $24 for an ounce of silver. And not long ago, there was a whole article and thing, going around social media that I think it was Costco, might have been Sam's, Costco, one of the two of those, was actually selling gold in the store. And it sold out fast. But for people who cannot afford or just want more bang for their buck, they may look at purchasing silver, $24.24 per ounce. Because as the changes continue to happen, and they're happening rapidly, most people just don't see them. You may want to invest in silver. You may want to buy some silver. It's a link below. You can go to milesfranklin.com. That's who I purchased my silver through. Because as these economies flip to an asset-backed economy, these prices are going to go up even higher. And where gold goes, silver follows. And the price of silver is being suppressed right now. But the tons, and I'm talking about tons of silver that the central banks have been buying, because they have been buying the gold, and now the tons of silver that the central banks are buying is unimaginable, right? And you can go to milesfranklin.com, order silver. There's some states that there's tax on, and then there's some states that, I don't know, there's a limit or something that you can buy, but it doesn't mean that you can't buy it. You may just have to give them a call. But you can go and say, you know what, I'm going to take $1,000 and I'm going to buy some silver. Or I'm going to take $2,500 and I'm going to buy, however many ounces of silver that will get you. And then you want to hold on to it. It's not something that you want to just, look to 4 years from now turning in to get the money back. You want to let it, again, this is about building wealth. Now, there might be some, you went in and you said, okay, I bought, $5,000 worth of silver, and it goes, the price skyrockets, and you say, well, you know what, I'm going to take, because I need something, I'm going to take, 5 or 6 ounces and go back and sell them back and get the profit. But you basically want to, especially if you have kids, you really want to hold on to that. So gold, silver, Bitcoin, XRP. The other part of investing, there's a part two, is investing in you to build you. So I don't know if I talked about the pillars that run my life. reclaiming personal power, mind, body, and spirit, reclaiming financial power, and increasing our social involvement in all of the companies that I do, all of the things that I do. It has to fit under those pillars, right? And part of that is you reclaiming your power. So you have to invest in you in order to be able to do that. It's interesting that we find value in going and buying more things, right? Because that makes us look a certain kind of way. And I'm not saying and or judging that you shouldn't have the things. We will pay money for surgery, right? BBLs, body sculpting, things of that nature. And in too many instances, you continue to put the garbage in your body. So, how are you going to invest in you? How are you going to invest in your self care? And I'm not talking about manicures, pedicures, getting your hair done or your hair cut. That's maintenance. That's something that you should be doing anyway. But what's the thing? How are you investing in your mental health? Are you seeing a therapist? Because you should. Are you going to doing yoga? Are you doing sound baths, which is heals your body on so many levels? What are you doing to invest in you? Part of that self-care is your financial situation, your financial relationship. What are you doing in order to improve your financial relationship? So you go to doctors, you go to dentists, you go to a hairdresser, you go to a nail tech, but you won't get a financial coach. You won't get a health coach to help heal the illness. You won't do those things. I don't know where there was a shift in the world where we didn't value building ourselves. People will go get an education, but you don't want to go talk about your finances. You don't even want to have that conversation. You don't want to go talk about your health outside of a doctor prescribing you more medication. You don't want to continue, you don't want to change the way that you eat. So invest in yourself, get you a coach. I always say, I'm a financial strategist. I'm really dope at what I do. But if it ain't me, somebody, you got to figure out, because you don't know why you operate the way that you operate. You don't know what you don't know. And that's on the health side. That's on what you're eating. That's on your finances. That's mental. Take part of that money and invest in you. Whatever it is, be intentional with your tax refund. What is the plan? Don't leave out you and your family in the plan. Don't go out and buy more stuff and more things. Take some of that tax refund, spend it on an experience, not all of it, but some, and take some of that tax form and do the things, set it aside to do the things that I talked about here today. You and your family are worth it. And that's what I want you to understand more than anything. You are worth it. And I know somebody's saying, yeah, but I'm worth the things too. But do you need more things? Is there something else in your life that you need to take care of that you're not, that now you have the opportunity to do so? So we know what's next. What's next is my favorite things. And my favorite things today is again, uh-oh. My favorite things again today is, you got it, tax refund flex pack. So the tax refund flex pack is a 10-step play to boss up your finances. Again, I created it. Everybody can't work with me. You can meet with me to do a 1-hour consultation about your tax refund. We can talk about it and create a plan. Y'all don't just go out here and do whatever it is you need to do. But you can get this tax refund plan and learn how to maximize your tax refund to permanently improve your financial relationship. It's a digital product. Download it. The link is in the description. Don't miss out. Don't be in the same place that you were in last year. This is walking you through. Do you have to do all of the 10 steps? No, some of them may not work for you. You don't want to do them, but it's giving you options and it's giving you ideas and it's walking you through how to figure that out, and it's giving you the steps so that you can accomplish it. So don't miss out on that, because you always hear me say it's the steps that matter. Life is about learning. Life is a journey. Those steps make that journey up. But during that journey, during those steps, you're learning so much about you, about those around you, about what you want out of life. You're rediscovering yourself. You're releasing things that no longer serve you. It's the small steps. That's why I always break them down in small steps. You do the small steps, you look back, you heal, and you've climbed a mountain. The journey is so important. So let's take the journey. So here are your next steps. Think about your refund. And think about what you may want and need to spend your refund on. Don't do it. Just think about it first. Start to think about it and then come up with a plan, right? Talk to somebody. And I'm not talking about your sister, your brother, your coworker. Schedule a consultation with me. Schedule a consultation with some other financial coach to help you think the process through. Part of what we do is we're going to give you some other ideas, give you some ways to do things. Okay, let's be creative with how we're going to do this so that you get the most bang out of that tax refund that you can, right? Make that decision that will benefit you today, tomorrow, and down the road. And then once you get that plan, execute the plan. Don't have the plan and then don't do nothing with it and then still go out and buy TVs and gym shoes and purses and stuff like that. Execute the plan once you get the plan. You and your family will thank you for it. And so your financial relationship. Listen, it's time to level up. Again, I keep talking about all of the changes that are coming and the changes that are happening and the things that are saying and how, AI and technology is listen, companies have laid off hundreds and some in the thousands of individuals. They haven't laid them off because they weren't making money. They laid them off because their jobs got replaced with AI and technology. And now those companies are making more money. So don't wait until the fire is in your house, right? Don't wait until the tornado is ripping your house apart. The storm is coming for a lot of people. Some people are already in the eye of the storm. Don't do the same thing you've done in previous years and expect something different. Don't be in the same place 6 months from now. It's time to level up and improve your financial relationship so that you can live the life you desire and not the one that you get after paying bills. So I know I was on my soapbox today. I preached a little bit. But if this information has been helpful, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to turn notifications on so you don't miss a training. If you are in need of personal strategy, stop waiting. Let's talk about it either on the personal side or on the business side. Consultation scheduling links are in the description below. And as we wrap up for today, I can't say this enough. Always remember to give yourself some grace. I talked to somebody today earlier. We did a consultation and brilliant man. And he has all of these companies, right? And his personal finances are suffering because of this. And when you're in the middle of a thing, you can't always figure your way out, right? And just in that consultation that we did today, he was like, oh, I'm about to stick to you and work with you because you have what I need in order to get out and get these things in place so that and they're money makers. But again, when you're in the midst of it, your financial situation is crazy because of it. You're trying to figure out how to get the money to take care of your financial situation as opposed to let me look at these businesses and see. And so just in that it is a consultation, just in that consultation, there were some things that I told him that were confirmation. There were some things that I said, you need to definitely do this and you need to do this now. And okay, well, we need to put this one on hold because this one is costing you more than it's making you, but you got these money makers over here. We need to focus on that. And then we need to go back and focus on personal goal. So always give yourself some grace because you're going through it. You're surviving. You're walking through it. But even as he said, he was embarrassed to say, but if you never say anything, you can't get the journey doesn't begin, especially if you've been wandering, right? And you haven't realized what you want to realize. Get some help. So always give yourself some grace. Forgive yourself for whatever has happened in the past. Keep striving and never give up on you. Invest in you. I promise it is the best investment you will ever make. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you for the private Q&A. Peace. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you on the other side.